on both ancient, medieval, and a little bit topics on modern. So this is what we are generally trying to understand. Whatever. Ancient, medieval, and a little bit topics on. So when we come to history, this is what we, so today being the first class, let's understand what can be done. I mean, like, what can it be done in that concept of history? See, it's an evergreen subject. First thing, please understand it's an evergreen subject. Certain subjects are there which has importance during certain period of time. For example, like anthropology. So those who take anthropology, I mean, like when I used to prepare, when I prepared for civil services and all, I'm not saying that any subject is bad or good or something. See, I have seen people saying that subjects are bad, subjects are good. See, no subject is bad, no subject is good. It is all according to your comfort. So if somebody tells you that you don't have an opinion, maybe you're a fresher, those who have gone for mains, they will understand. But when you are a fresher, you generally understand that you won't have much of that confidence in order to take. Maybe you're confused within a certain number of topics as such. So what will you do? You will be going to someone. Maybe you will be coming to me, or maybe you'll going to some other faculty. Am I audible? Am I audible to others?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Iram. So maybe it's your connection problem. Others can hear me well and good. So please check your connection. So anyway, so what I was telling was, maybe you are confused about an option. So you might go to someone. They will say, no, history is not good. Or I might tell you history is good. Some people will say public administration is good. See, they are talking, first thing about understanding a subject. That's what I began with. No subject is good, no subject is bad. Subjects are based on the idea of, what your comfort is. First thing, you need to understand where your comfort lies. There are several subjects that comes in GS also. There are several subjects. Now, why I start with this is because you need to understand, because people have a lot of notions. I mean, like, people have a lot of troubles that take place. I mean, like, they will say, oh, history is bad, history is tough. History is one of the easiest subject. History is one of the easiest subject, if I can tell you. Because there are no additions which are coming. Not much of additions are coming. What are the additions? Maybe some archaeological finding will be there. Some archaeological finding may come, or some historical finding may come where they had not found till. How much will that add on? Maximum is 5%. It won't reach 5%. I'm saying maximum is 5%. So history is a factual subject. It is a static subject. It doesn't change. Like I always joke, with my other students. 500 years before, Akbar's father is Humayun. 500 years later, 10,000 years later also, Akbar's father is Humayun only. But if you take for a subject like sociology, if you take for a subject like public administration, if you take for other subjects like management or law, they are ever changing. They keep on changing. What will change in history? So first thing, that before you learn history, before you sit to learn history, first thing that you need to address is how to handle the subject. See, for example, you might be sitting there. you might be sitting on the other side, wearing a dress that you prefer, wearing a color that you prefer. I am sitting on this side. I am wearing a dress that I prefer, which is comfortable for me. The word comfort comes here. The word comfort is more important. So when you have the comfort coming into you, did you see, you like to wear, say, maybe a veshti or jeans, or maybe you like to be in 5-piece suit. All matters. All matters. Whoever is comfortable in a 5-piece suit, let them wear that. Whoever is good in a shirt and a veshti or a dhoti, let them wear that. So it is all about comfort. Will you go and tell somebody who is wearing a veshti or a dhoti that no, only 5-piece suit is good for you? Can you tell that? Definitely not. And that seems stupid also. Dressing is comfort of a person. Okay, we can comment, but that doesn't mean that we can, because dressing is the concept of confidence, isn't it? When I sit in a dress which I like, I can be confident. Imagine if I am sitting here, we are all under lockdown. We are all under lockdown. And when sitting at home, imagine if I sit in a 5-piece suit. Okay, if it is an official meeting, yes. According to the situation, comfort has to come. Just like that, once you come to prepare for UPSC, most of you are, or all of you are available in this talk, is because of you're preparing for UPSC. Now, the preparation method also matters. So I like to begin the classroom giving an overview. I don't know if others have told you this, but let me do my part. So, first thing, I'm lecturing for UPSC for the past 11 years. What I have seen mostly is, and I don't do this to people, let nobody tell you, nobody tell you what is your comfort and what is not. Your comfort, you only know. Only you know your comfort. So, somebody tells you economics is bad, history is good, or polity is bad, geography is good. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Find your comfort. And to do that, what you should do? To understand the comfort in you, you must read. You must read. You must try to understand the subject a bit. I'm not saying the entire subject. At least a topic you understand. And then if you can answer a few questions in that, there you understand comfort is there. Now, what are the challenges of history and other subjects? What are the challenges that you have with history and other subjects? Now I said read a topic. See, there is a scientific subject here, geography. Geography is a scientific subject. So there are concepts to be understood. So the conceptual clarity, if it is not there, geography is going to be a trouble. You have to understand because it is a scientific understanding. So logic has to be applied. Nice. So, as I was telling, yes, uh, see, Group 1, TNPC, I have no much knowledge about. I mean, like, I'm basically from Kerala. Yes, I have uh, taken classes in Officers IAS Academy long before, and I have been coming and going in Chennai for a very long time, almost like what, 2014, 15 or something like that. I have been a regular faculty in some of the academies in Chennai also. So I know about what questions come for TNPC and all, but regarding the age factor and all, I cannot, because anyway, new government has come, let them take a decision. So Narayana Priya. So that's what we can understand. So anyway, it's okay. Mr. Uday Kumar, it's okay. Thanks for letting me know. So I would have totally been unaware about this. I know that it was live streaming, but I was totally unaware that you have to minimize and keep. Anyway, let it be. So TNPC, I cannot comment on much. Let it be. See you, and one more thing. Let me tell you. Whoever is concerned about their number of attempts or something like that, don't worry. I mean, like, see, if you are preparing sincerely, one attempt or maximum 2 attempts is more than enough. Maximum 2 attempts is more than enough. See, I'm saying about a personal thing. I'm not saying that. It should be somebody else's opinion. It definitely doesn't have to be somebody. It's my own opinion. 1 or 2 attempts and maximum 3. After that, you should let go. Then you should go into some other jobs, stabilize yourself, because you have been preparing sincerely for 2-3 years. Go to some other job, earn well, and then try to attempt. If you have attempts left, I'm not asking you to quit completely. Please understand, I'm not asking you to quit completely. Make sure that you go into some other work, because life is important. Exams will be there. But go someplace else, work from there, stabilize yourself, and then keep attending. That is what I said. So don't worry about this age factor and all. Maximum 1 or 2, maximum 3. I wrote around 4 chances. First chance was just a negligible chance. After that, what happened? I gave 4. After that, 2 more attempts came for me. But I quit. I mean, like, I was like, enough is enough. I don't want anymore. That's my personal again. You can side with me. You can come against me. That's all up to you. So now I was discussing about the subject. So I was telling about the comfort of the subject. So first thing that you need is comfort. So I was telling about geography. Let me come back. So I was telling about geography in the sense, the geography is a conceptual subject. You have to understand that concept. And only when you understand that concept, you can provide more information, you can understand, okay, the clarity of understanding will be there. Say for example, southwest monsoon. What is the importance of southwest monsoon? Where does it southwest monsoon hit first? Where does it go? It goes to Meghalaya. Those Meghalaya area again, it will be pushed into Pakistan. So what is the high pressure, low pressure belt concepts that are happening within for the movement of southwest monsoon? I'm just taking an example. So you have to understand that very concept in detail. If you don't understand, the danger in not understanding the concept is it's going to ruin you. Please understand, it's going to ruin you. So scientific subjects, more or less a scientific subject like geography, economy, all concepts has to be understood first. Now, what will you do for history? What will you do for history? History doesn't have any concepts or something like that. You don't have to understand various systems or something. It is a mere story. It is just a story. Now, you must have learned about Panchatantra. I guess all of you must have learned about Panchatantra. Have you? See, I'm going to the very basic because I have been told a lot of freshers are there. So maybe somebody who must have written names also would be there. You please excuse. For you, it's a revision. But those for I'm looking at those freshers also. I have to take everyone together. That's what I'm intending at. So I asked you a question. I would like a responsive classroom. I don't like a, that I talk and this is not a radio conversation. Radio, you cannot even converse. That's another thing. Thank you. Thank you. So we know that Panchatantra. So Panchatantra, how was Panchatantra created? How was Panchatantra created? I mean, like, for what reason? We know the story about, there are a lot of stories in Panchatantra. But why was Panchatantra created? A king had 3 sons. These 3 sons were idiots. These 3 sons were idiots. I mean, fools. They didn't know anything. Many teachers came to teach them. They could not understand anything from them. Then finally, they were sent into a Gurukul. A sannyasi was there. And a sannyasi taught them in what way? Telling them stories. Just telling them stories. And they went on to become the most brilliant rulers the kingdom ever saw. These 3 of them. History is just story. His story. First thing, it is, see, when you look at it as a fact, please understand, when you look at it as a fact, then you are going to have a trouble. Do not look at it as a fact. And the trouble with history, one more thing is, history is very good subject. But the problem was how it was taught to you in the school. In school, teachers just came, they did not explain much, just a fact. So when fact alone came, you got scared. So when you got scared, now that fear is working on you. See, I am a person who fear mathematics. I fear mathematics a lot. So the moment the numbers comes to me, okay, numbers is okay, equations are also okay, but the moment that proper arithmetic comes, no, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm literally scared. So, but I'm very comfortable with history. Why? Because I got a very good history teacher when I was in school. She used to explain like the story. See, who doesn't like a story? You take from the very kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kids also you take. Old people also, 95, 100 also you take. young age, old age, everybody loves story. Everybody loves to listen to stories. So what you got to do is, for UPSC is a very stressful exam. UPSC is a very stressful exam. So what we need at every step is reduce the stress as much as possible. So how do we reduce the stress? How do we reduce the stress? I'm saying only about my subject. Other faculties will tell you about their subject. In my subject, how you can reduce is just make it a little below fact. Don't go for that very basic understanding or that very point by understanding. Make it into a story. Everything is a story. So once you prepare a story, it will take time. Understand, history takes time. It will take you time. But very good thing about history is once you read, that's in your mind. That's in your mind. You will never lose it. So once you read, then you don't have to update always. All you need is a revision. All you need is a revision. Always think like that. And one more thing. When you start reading a book, say for example, a book is here. A book is equal to you. A book is equal to you. So what we can understand is, imagine if I bought this book new, and I'm not reading, I'm not completing it. This book has an attitude. This book will stand here. This book will stand here. This book will be looking down on me. You have not completed me. So I am above you. What you must do for any history book, let it be any book or NCRT also. Don't study it. Don't study. Simply read. Read. I am saying not to study, but to read. I'm saying not to study, but to read. What is reading? What is the difference between studying and reading? What is the difference between studying and reading? Exactly. Revision. But I'm just asking, what is different studying and reading? Exactly. Just going through. Just going through. You don't study a newspaper. You read a newspaper. No need to memorize. Exactly. You study a newspaper. Nobody says that I am studying a newspaper. I am reading a newspaper. But even when you read a newspaper, 70% of information, 80% of the newspaper is there inside your head, isn't it? Why did you retain 80% of information inside your head? Or how did you retain 80% of information inside your head? You collected that information in a very de-stressed format. Yes, casual like a magazine. Casual like a magazine. A very de-stressed format you read. So what happens is, see, imagine, I'm telling you, you read a newspaper. I am going to put a test paper on that newspaper. You will retain only 20% or less than 10%. How that happened was stress. Stress. We cannot have stress. UPSC itself is stressful. So we cannot have stress. Fine. We cannot take stress in that manner. So first thing, when you take a history textbook or when you take any history book, first thing to avoid, and history again, people have the notion, it is a tough subject. It is a tough subject. Remove that. Then come inside. Then come inside. First you say history is a normal subject. To understand it in a concept of story, a little more reading has to be done. A little more reading has to be done. When you do that little more reading, definitely you will have entire concept with you, or the entire collection will be there with you, so that you will never have to look back. Once in a while, turn back for revision, as you said here earlier. Uday Kumar, he has told. It's like revision. So once in a while, you go for a revision. That is inside your head. Geography, economy, polity. 4 pillar subjects are there. Okay, past 3-4 years, we have 5 pillar subjects. Geography, economy, polity, history, environment. Environment was not there before. Now environment also came. 5 pillar subjects. Otherwise, it was 4 pillar subjects. Environment, geography, economy, polity. All these 4 subjects, you need to understand the concept. History, don't understand the concept. Keep reading. Keep reading. When you finish the first time, do not come and tell me, okay, sir, I have finished for 1 time. I have finished twice. I have finished 2 times, 3 times. No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Or don't tell any faculty that. History just has to be repeated. History just has to be repeated. More information will come to you. Just read. So, this is the first thing I needed to tell you. Because without understanding the subject, if you go into the subject, you are going to have a hard time with the subject. And you may not like it also. You may not like it. So, what I am saying sincerely is, first, know the subject. Second, know how to handle the subject. Third, know whether you are comfortable with the subject. Now, the third point, whether it is comfortable or not, whether it is comfortable or not, how will we understand? How will we understand whether a subject is comfortable or not? I said, I'm not comfortable with economy and mathematics. So when I'm trying to be in my own ways. I hope you understand. I'm trying to do things in the way I know better. Thank you. So what I was telling was, now what to do. I just lost where I was. So where does the comfort come from? So like I said, for me it is, there are troubles with an subjects. So if you have a problem with history, I mean, you tried sincerely many times. I'm not trying to show anything less of my subject, but that is a reality. Let's accept the reality and move forward. So let's be realistic. So what is the realism that we come across is, if you don't, see, we cannot master all the subject. We cannot master all the subject. So when we cannot master all the subject, see, first rank is what? 52, 53% in UPSC. First rank is, I always say this to my students, trying to build their confidence. First rank is just 53%. So if somebody tells you that I have worked really hard and then it was my own hard work that brought me here, I will not believe that. I certainly will not believe. Why? Because if you have worked hard, you should have got 99%. If you have worked hard, you should have got 99%. But here you got only 53% or 55% maximum. Till date, first rank of UPSC is below 55% only. So where did that 45% go? So when you understand concepts like this, what you need to understand is nobody is perfect here. Everybody has flaw. Even the first rank has flaw. You should not consider yourself anything lesser than that first rank. So, and what is the difference between first rank and the 10th rank or the 100th rank? Maybe 2 marks, 5 marks. That's it. First rank and the 100th rank will be 5 marks difference. That's it. So, what we must let's not go into the cutoff concept. I'm just trying to be on the peripheral level. Because since, like what you said, time is very short, I don't want to go into the depth. So I'm just trying to chuck everything together. So that's why. Cutoff and all, if I go, then entire session I will have to take in the same manner. So I don't want to go into that. So what I'm saying is, a first rank, it's just of 55%. 55%, 50%, if you get 50% in your school, in your college, you are just an average student. You are just an average student. So understand, the exam is so tough. You cannot master everything. So now what we must do, rather than hard work, we must do smart work. So what is the smart work here? What is the smart work here? Certain subjects will be hard for you. Certain subjects will be easy for you. Master your easy subject. How much ever you can grasp, how much ever you can take, that much you take with the tough subjects. See, for example, history is your tough subject. Now, when somebody asks you a question, who is Ashoka? Ashoka was a king who led a non-cooperation movement. Don't be so, it's the most stupidest thing that you can ever hear. So don't be in such a way. Basic things you must know. Okay, Ashoka is a king who belonged to Maurian Empire. He was there in ancient India. At least this much you must know. To that level, you equip yourself in the subject, and which is your stronger area, strengthen that. Strengthen that tenfold. And one more thing is that pray to God where whatever you studied comes for the exam. That is also important. So, this is a subject on luck, basically, or an exam on luck also, because 45% is absent here. So, it's certainly not your hard work, what I believe. I'm a God-loving person, so I believe that there is a touch of God in this exam. So what we understand so this is the concept that you must do for history. History, don't be stressful. Take or read as much as you can. Just read, repeat the reading. Points will get inside your head. If you're going to stress on this and study or mug up the fact, definitely you are going to lose out. Definitely you are going to casually sit 3-4 times, read. It is just like watching a movie. First time you watch a movie, you will understand the basics. Hero, heroine, villain, all that. Second time you watch the movie, secondary characters. Third time you watch the movie, you will get the dialogues. You will know to repeat the dialogues also, all the scenes. Same thing, history also. Take it like a story, keep repeating, so that you will have an edge. So this is what the general understanding for the subject of history comes by. Now, so since time is very less in arrangement for me, I like to stick to certain areas only. So I've been given the leisure to take classes on just brief about ancient India, medieval India, and certain topics on modern India. That is what I have been asked. So we shall be doing the same. See, now, so I'll be handling ancient India for one class, maybe today, tomorrow medieval India. And has it been taken? Has ancient and medieval been taken? Has ancient and medieval been taken? Anybody please reply. I mean, like, because it's like a one-on-one talk now. It's Uday, so I don't know. I mean, like, others also can participate. If no, then definitely please share. So ancient and medieval has not been approached. Now, I don't want it's okay. Yes or no? It's okay means you are giving me some provisions or you are giving me some concessions. I don't want any concessions. I want yes or no. It has been taken. And you have been instructed on all the things for medieval and modern India. Sorry, medieval and ancient India. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. We'll come to the book session. But I just want to know whether ancient and medieval has been taken or not. Someone say no, one say yes. So I'm a bit confused. Anyway, so if nobody has an idea. Achha, okay, fine, sure, thanks. So what we understand from the concept of history is that history is a very dangerous subject. I always say this to my class, anywhere I go, history is a very dangerous subject because using, okay, please, I understood. There are freshers as well as, I forgot that concept. There are freshers as well, so I should do accordingly. History is a very dangerous subject. So what we talk about history is that history can create realizations, history can create troubles. See, for example, like now the elections are over. In elections, you must have seen most of the candidates will be like, they will be telling 10 years before what happened, 50 years before what happened. What was the consequences of that? They also go back to history. They also go back to history in order to channelize the mindset of people. The mindset of the people has to be, covered. Yeah, okay. I'll deal from the start itself. So to cover the mindset of the people, politicians also use history. And to create any trouble or to create harmony, we can use history. So that it's a very dangerous one. Historical knowledge, if correct, if it is in the hands of a manipulator, then it is very dangerous. You can create communal riots, you can create wars. Now, for example, China came and stood at Doklam, or China came and stood at Kashmir region, the AICSCC region. What are they saying? Kashmir belongs to us. Why? Because there was a kingdom which ruled those areas. Now, India also ruled there. India also ruled there. Tibet also ruled there. So it's not alone China that has the claim, but all others have claimed. All have claimed. So likewise, so how you approach the subject matters. So approaching the subject, when you listen, Kipa, I'll come back to the books, don't worry. Okay, nice to see somebody who is a lover of history. No, nice to see somebody who is a lover of history. Anyway. So when you talk about the historical understanding, where it began. So in India, we did not have a historical culture. We did have its historical culture, but writing down of history was not there. The writing down of history was mostly done in the West or in the Middle East, or Chinese did it. So for example, like we say, okay, the word history. What do you mean by the word history? Anybody can answer? I'm sure that those who went for mains also is going to make a mistake here. Anybody who has written the mains, please answer what is okay, Prerna. Anybody who has went for the mains, could you please tell what is history? The exact word, exact translation of history. One person has said inquiry, one person has said written records. Any other understanding that you want to give? That's all. History literally translates in Greek. It's a Greek word, which literally translates into the word called as enquiry. Enquiry. You keep on enquiring. That's the only thing that is there. There is nothing more to the word called as history. People generally, when we ask, it's a record of the past. It is past, which is there. Nothing like that. The literal Greek word translates enquiry. So, or when you can say knowledge acquired by investigation. In general, history can be said knowledge acquired by his investigation. That's what the concept is. Or in a very simpler term, how we find in NCERT, it is a study of past. Study of past according to what? Relation to human beings. Relating to human beings. So that is what another concepts also comes by. So that's now we in India we don't have the concept of father of history, mother of history, or something like that. Now, why father of history comes again is because of the patriarchy that is there. Male-dominated society we are. So definitely that patriarchal concept comes there. That's why this father of society is coming. Father of history or biology or zoology comes by. Not exactly. Okay, history can be taken as an example so that we don't repeat our mistakes. That's there. That we can say. History can be taken as an example so that we don't repeat our mistakes. But the word history doesn't say that. History is a statement is there. If you forget history, you are cursed to repeat her. History is always a feminine understanding. History is considered a female, not a male. because only women remember this much detail. Not men cannot remember this much detail. So yeah, okay. I'm just I'm taking that concept and then telling. I'm just not against or something, but I'm just saying whatever you said. I'm extracting out of that. Amaraj, we are here for UPSC. Now you are asking for TNPC Group 2. I can assure you one thing. If you prepare for UPSC sincerely, then you can very much prepare for Group 1, 2, 3, 4, anything. Because UPSC is on the top. You prepare for this one exam, any other exam below it is very easy. So prepare for UPSC, all other exams becomes easy for you. Why should you think about Group 2? Why can't you think about Group 1? And don't worry about these things, Andrew. Don't even worry. Should be. But again, patriarchal society comes here. It is not her story, it is his story. Okay. So his story is more remembered by her. We can take it in that context. So then there is no objection. Isn't it? A wife will remember more about the husband, what he did, what he didn't. Maybe he might forget, but the wife will certainly remember. So that credit can be given to his story, isn't it? So she remembers it more. Anyway, so coming back, as I was telling, it is a dangerous subject. It is a very interesting subject, all that concept. So the concept of patriarchy has come. So father of history comes generally Herodotus. Herodotus is the father of history. So once we start the class in detail, this is a crash course. So I'm not going into the details. Just I need to mention and go. Once we go into the in-depth class, I mean, for those freshers, once we start the in-depth class, I'll explain it in all the way possible. So Herodotus comes by. Herodotus became the father of histories because he went one step further. He went one step further to assess the history of Greeks and Persians. The Greco-Persian War. The Greco-Persian War, Greeks and Persians fought against each other. So that was analyzed by Herodotus. So because he went once, most of the historians of the Greek times, what happened was they will only look at the Greeks. They will say Greeks are excellent, the Greeks are powerful, Greeks are exclusive, all that. But Herodotus, on the other hand, went across to the Persian side, understood the Persian side, and then retrieved the information so that he wrote both about the Persians and the Greeks. So the trouble that he took gave him the status of father of history. Now on the Chinese side also there is important. Sima Qian is there. Sima Qian is considered to be the father of Eastern history. The Chinese also recorded everything. Now coming into India, when Indians, especially ancient India, is more about Hinduism. So the Hindu attitude was never to write down anything. We just kept on orally. Oral traditions was more. Even we understand Vedas. Vedas were Kamaraj, UPSC is central level. When you write UPSC exam, you can become, collector, district collector. IAS, IPS எல்லாம் ஆகிறதுக்கு UPSC எழுதணும். TNPCனா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் lower frameல வரும். இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் lower frameல வரும். So it is like more or less you will become assistant commissioner. ஒரு 8 வருஷத்துக்கு நீங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரேங்க் கிடைச்சா TNPCல ஒரு 8 வருஷம் 6 வருஷம் 8 வருஷத்துல நீங்க IAS ஆகலாம். UPSC எழுதுனா நீங்க வந்துட்டு first chanceலயே directly you can become IAS IPS. Okay, the simplest form of understanding what is UPSC and what is TNPC. Okay, fine. Exactly, the Gurukula form. So the Gurukula form, what we understand is the oral traditions was, so see, when you look at ancient humans, ancient Indians especially, there was one concept which was mentioned by ancient Indians. If you cannot remember, if you cannot memorize, even if you are born a human being, you are not eligible to be brought under the category of a human being. If you cannot remember, or if you cannot memorize. So memory was a pretty important tool to Indian understanding. Okay, not only to Indians, any religion, memory was a very important thing. So now when you talk about history also, history can be organized. History can be organized in concepts like, see, chronographical history. It's a chronological history, cultural history, territorial history, then thematical history. Chronological, cultural, territorial, thematical. So likewise. So when we understand, we study about these concepts, there comes a particular title called as historiography. How to write history. See, like I said, you are sitting there on that other side, wearing the style you like, the dress you like, isn't it? I am sitting here on this side, wearing the style I like. So how did we dress ourselves? According to our comfort. Kalishwaran, I'm basically a Malayali. எனக்கு தமிழ் வரும், ஆனா நிறைய ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு தமிழ் தெரியாதவர். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வேணும்னா நீங்க கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேளுங்க, என்னால முடிஞ்ச அளவுக்கு நான் தமிழ்ல எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணி கொடுக்குறேன். because there are other students also who are totally non-Tamils. So அது நான் கொஞ்சம் ரெகக்னைஸ் பண்ணி தான் ஆகணும், ப்ளீஸ். ஓகே, so I was telling about historiography. So historiography is like how history has to be written. There is a style. The style in which history is written, you cannot definitely use that for literature. I mean, like English literature or any other literatures. That kind of a language cannot be used for law. There is legal language. So law likes to dress up in a different style. History likes to dress up in a different style. Zoology likes to dress up in a different style. So history's way of answering or history's way of allocating, we call it in the style of historiography. So historiography. Yeah, in a way we can say that. In a way we can say that. Jargons or something like that. So the father of history we have explained. Now, when it comes to Indian history, now we are anyway dealing with Indian history, so let me not go into the world understanding or something. When we are in classroom, I will explain much further. So what we understand from Indian history is that Indian history is divided into nearly around, for UPSC as well as your TNPC. UPSC as well as your TNPC or any state public exam. Or any state public exam, what we can understand is it is divided into 3-4 modules. So ancient India, medieval India, modern India, post-modern India, then art and culture. Ancient, medieval, modern, post-modern, art and culture. This is general. So this is the understanding that goes. So when you come for your state level exam, what I have seen, I lecture many parts of India. almost 8 to 9 different cities of India. I lecture for history. Now, what we understand from the historical studies that we have is that I don't know this person's name is subscriber busy. So subscriber busy, I'll tell you about the books before the session is over. Last, I will tell you about the books. Don't worry. Oh, nice, Jagdish. Which year? Which year were you and where have I taught you? Jagdish Ramachandran. You said you are an old student of mine. Where have I taught you or which year? We can share that, we'll be happy. Anyway, so coming back, so you please share that. So I was telling about the concept, so history comes by. Then how to analyze this particular concept is that, Officers IAS Academy, 2016, nice. So first batch, no, second batch, I guess. Second batch. Yeah, I joined there in 2015. Okay, nice. So anyway, so what I was telling was, when you talk about the ancient Indian understanding, ancient India, see, I'm sorry dear, Tamil என்னால பேச முடியும், என்னால படிக்க தெரியாது எனக்கு. பேச தெரியும், படிக்க தெரியாது. So please don't put any comments in Tamil. I am sorry. Or if somebody sees in Tamil and if you don't know much of English or something like that, please somebody else translate it and give. I'll definitely answer that. But படிக்க தெரியாது என்னால. So please excuse me on that. So what I was telling was, the Indian subcontinent, history of Indian subcontinent when we speak, comes somewhere from 7000 BC, 9000 BC. And as time is improving, there are a lot of new concepts which are coming in. New concepts are coming. See, you might see a lot of excavations going on here and there. Now, let me tell you, for any credible exam, listen to me very carefully, any credible exam, why I am telling this, especially Tamil Nadu. Especially Tamil Nadu is going through a very serious excavation now. Kizhadi. So Kizhadi is a very important excavation. A lot of political things are also going on. So we don't know where it will end. And even many archaeologists are saying, if Kizhadi can be excavated very properly, then definitely it will change history of all of India. It will change history of all of India. So when this particular concept has been told, now the central government has removed many artifacts which they got from Kizhadi. Artifacts allam. Instead of keeping it in Madras University, they have kept it in Bangalore University. Idellam politicization of a part. Let me not go into politics. I don't want to go into politics also. So, can somebody translate what she has written in Tamil in YouTube, so that I'll get to know? So likewise, whenever we see excavations, whenever we see some archaeological find, keep a list of that. That is the updation that has come to the subject. For something which we did not know. Because of archaeological excavation and scientific updation, some stories will be part. So some stories will be part, and there we get to know the details. So one example from Tamil Nadu I am saying is Kizhadi. It has not stuck to Kizhadi alone, it has come into Kerala also. Kerala Idukki region, they have found many artifacts recently, some 6-7 months before. not during the corona time, before the corona coming in, before the Wuhan virus affecting us all, it has come. Like I said, please, you have some doubt, you ask me, I will definitely convey to you in Tamil. As much Tamil I know, I will definitely convey. But otherwise, it's a struggle because non-Tamils are sitting. Please understand. Please excuse me for that. So we must respect everyone. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So as I was mentioning, the idea of excavations, archaeological finds, and then again, once more, you must see years. For example, like questions can come. Questions can come in the form of silver jubilee, golden jubilee, or a diamond jubilee, platinum jubilee, whatever you say. Then millennials, 1,000 years. That can bring questions to UPSC or TNPC or any state exam. So first thing that we have to understand is, make sure that you follow this in newspaper, because current affairs is very important for history. Understand, history is a very vast subject, very vast. Avlo periya oru subject edutittu, such a big huge subject, where will they pick questions from? Where will they pick questions from? So we need to understand, we need to master the ideas of UPSC. So what is going to happen is, current affairs, the history source, because this bigger subject anybody can pick from anywhere. So you can't study 100% of history and go to exam. Definitely not. Other subjects are there. The examiner also understands this. So what the examiner does is, current affairs questions varum. Eppo, eppadi. So that you can say is second paragraph, third paragraph. Neenga newspaper padikkumbo, endha article vena edukonga. Any article that you take, when you read newspaper, the second paragraph, third paragraph, first paragraph on the introduction varum. Editorials ellam paatha theriyum. First paragraph will be introduction, second paragraph and third paragraph history. In the information eduthalum, any article, any pamphlet, any thesis, anything that you take, second paragraph, third paragraph, history. No doubt about it, no question in that. Namukku adha venum. So almost everything has a history. Every subject has a history. History is the mother of all subjects, because every subject will come in the category of history one day. How did it begin? So current affairs, like I said, any important events, excavations, that is exclusive history, or any particular concept. For example, like say 2021. So 2021, 100 years before. 100 years before 1921 la enna nadandichu? What would have happened in 1921? What would have happened? Always ancient da. Ancient la irundha, like we go in a chronological sense. Eppa arambichalu, you must start from ancient only. Ancient, medieval, modern, post-modern, art and culture. Appadida poganum. Otherwise it is stupidity. See, chala in academies la what they do is they start from modern India, or they start from somewhere they want. Adella academy oda oru, they find it easy. Chala time faculty kedakadu. So they might tell somebody, okay, you take modern India, you take ancient India. Anal, whenever you study history, You want to be systematic, go from ancient, medieval, modern. Because see, history la oru concept irukku. And the concept enna like so and the concept enna like rippling effect in the we say. So the ripple, when the drop falls, so event will happen at one place, consequences will be at some other place. Event is happening one place, consequences at some other place. So you need to have, first time at least, you need to have ancient, medieval, modern, then come across. Anyway, so coming back. And it's not about newspaper. You can also go into magazines. You can definitely go into magazines or any other thing. But what I am saying is current affairs. So today is 2021. So 2021, one example I am saying, 100 years before, what was there? 100 years before, what was there? So what was the concept that was going on mainly in India 100 years before? It was non-cooperation movement, Mahatma Gandhi. So next year, again, there shall be importance for non-cooperation movement only because 1922. So that next year will be 2022. So what is the importance? The dismissal of non-cooperation movement, Chauri Chaura Act, the burning of the police station, all this, Montague Chelmsford reforms, Khilafat movement. So these kind of questions are more probable this time. So 100 years before, this was an event, isn't it? So questions based on such kind of events have more highlights. Now, I was telling another concept of excavation when it comes to Kiradi. So Kiradi excavation, Kiradi is linked mostly to Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization can be majorly asked because excavations are going on, new finding is coming in. New finding is coming in. Okay. You can go for Chronicle. Chronicle is there, then Wizard is there. So likewise, magazines come by. So yeah, Mapla Rebellion of 1921. So likewise, another event. Many events are there. So most probable of asking the question is 100 years, silver, platinum, golden, all that. Okay. So this comes to the study of Indus Valley civilization. So when we talk, so I said somewhere like Indian history is somewhere starting from 7000 BC. 7000 BC onwards it starts. So when you talk about 7000 BC, majority of world has not come to that set. Now when we talk about the cities like Mehergad slowly improved into what? Now, let's not say Haryana. Mehergad slowly improved into what? Indus Valley civilization. Mehergad was a city. What? Which slowly improved. It was a precursor to Indus Valley civilization. So there again, Mehergad was one city. Indus Valley civilization. So civilization comes by. Inside that also many cities were there. Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Rakhigad, Surkatoda, Suktagandor, Alamgirpur. Likewise, not Alamgirpur, I'm sorry, Surkatoda, those kind of areas and all. Kalibangan. Likewise, many cities were there. So the rise and fall of Indus Valley has to be absorbed. So I'm saying most probable area. Kind of questions can be found. from these areas, because currently excavations are going on and information is coming on newspaper also. So Indus Valley civilization is one area that we have to keep in mind. Then after Indus Valley civilization, I will just touch the topics and go. Tomorrow onwards, we will discuss the questions. Okay. So, because since freshers are there. One more thing for the freshers. If you don't know much of topics, stick to NCERT alone. Stick to NCERT alone. Okay. Then, the next importance that we have is for after Indus Valley civilization, there comes the beginning of Vedic Age. So Vedic Age is more philosophical. Vedic Age is more philosophical, and we have to study about the scriptures. So scriptures, rather than the political side, you must give more importance for the scriptural side. For example, like Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda. So likewise, importance has to be given. And when we give importance to more cultural aspect, so more questions from culture can be expected in the Vedic side as such. So another importance that comes across is, so after the Vedic Age, then comes at the same time, we must understand philosophical side, scriptural side, but there is the coming of the political side also. So how the concept of kingdoms developed in India, how the concept of rights developed in India. Now, the concept of kingdoms developed, initially it was not land was important. Initially cows were important. So it was not for the land people fought along. They fought for cows. So cattle lifting was one of the most effective ways of Indus Valley Vedic Age. So cattle lifting comes by, and cattle were considered as security. Cattle were considered as, so now another issue going on in India is cow. Beef ban, beef lynching, all these concepts are going on. So there are more chances of a question coming up from that side. The excavation, I have been, I've been telling that the same excavations. What is happening? Kridadi excavation is going on. Haryana, Indus Valley excavation is going on. So when such kind of excavations come by, definitely they are going to ask questions from that period. And when we talk about the Vedic Age questions has been asked more from the cultural side. When you look at the previous year's question papers, questions for the Vedic Age, not Indus Valley, Vedic Age has been asked more from the Vedic period time. Cultural questions has been asked. So that is what I was saying. So cultural questions. Now let me take. There was a political issue happened 2 years before. A man was lynched to death. What was they said? In the freezer of that man, there was beef which was kept. but finally it turned out it was not beef or something like that. So this is a political issue today because of the culture. So what is the importance of cow? Something like that. So Vedic age is where cow became very sacred. When cow becomes very sacred, how did Vedic age deem to it? Why cow became sacred? Questions like this can come up. Cow was regarded as sacred because cow was considered as monetary. Money it was. So people never bothered about land. People bothered about cow. A person who had more cows with him was called by the title Gopala. Gopala Krishna, we say, king or the god of Hindus. Gopala, Krishna is called as Gopalaga. So Gopalaga means what? He was a rich man. Any lady who was rich, she was called as Gomati. It's not buffalo meat alone. Cow meat also is there. India is one of the, I think it is the second largest exporter in the world for cow meat. Cow, buffalo, whatever it is. Do you know the difference once it is cut and come? Do we know the difference? No, definitely we don't know. So, we don't know whether it is buffalo or cow also. We have no clue on that. Once it is cut, we don't know. Let it be licensing, let it be non-licensed also. Why this? Let's not go into that issue. I'm just telling. Okay, it is all about licensing because once it is brought under, then big industries can sell them. Now, if you look at the meat market is very decentralized. So anyway, the cow issue. So concepts like this can be asked. In Vedic age, mostly cow was considered a money. So today, in my purse, in my wallet, if there is 2000 rupees, I will not burn my 2000 rupees. Likewise, a cow was not killed. So the cow became sacred. But this is what? It's okay. See, that's why I kept on saying history is a dangerous subject. So when we have to take the past, we have to understand the current also. When you take the past, we have to understand the current. Without that, we cannot go on. Because as I said, now I myself told that current affairs is the main concept for any historical questions coming up. Okay. So likewise, that comes by. So the cultural part is more important. But when you talk about the political side, when the Vedic age comes from nearly around 1500 BC to somewhere like 600 BC. So 1500 BC to 600 BC is the concept that is coming. We have foreign invasions also this time. So around from 600 BC, there comes Persians. The Persians ruled India. So Persians also exclusively don't go for their political side. Try to learn as much as cultural side that is possible. Cultural side. So cultural side, how do we expect? For example, like what was the Persian contribution to Indian culture? What was the Persian contribution to Indian culture? What was it? Mainly, one of the most important factor that we can see today is the pillar structure. The pillar structure. Now, for example, any buildings that we go, we see the pillars. The pillar was a contribution of the Persians. Then again, Hindus, what we do is, nama veetla puja room irukum. The puja room will be there in our house. There we light a lamp every evening or morning or something. That lamp lighting ceremony, see, otherwise Hindus had lamp lighting. But what happened was that is more or less a homagunda. Homagunda, that will be in temple, not at the home. Not at the home. So this small lamp lighting was done by the Hindus, starting from the Persians. We absorbed that from the Persians. Likewise, many cultural absorptions were there. And moreover, even though we have gold coin from the time of Vedic period itself, NCERT mentions differently, but when we study detail, coins are available from Vedic age. Circulation matters. How it was circulated, how much it was circulated. So for example, coins, how it was given. The Persians also introduced coin, but very less amount has come into India. The Persian coin which came into India was Derrick, one concept, and the other one was shekels. Israeli coin is even today called as shekels. So shekels was something the Persians used a lot. So same thing, same, pillar is architectural. Pillar is mostly architecture. And lamp lighting is basically culture. That is what art, architecture and culture is, wherever that is more significant. So I'm saying you have a brief understanding about the polity side and give more, certain areas comes by, give more importance to culture. Indus Valley civilization is all about culture and architecture, nothing more. There are no people involved because it's all archaeological. So people we don't understand much. Then after move forward from Vedic age, next importance that comes by is for Alexander. So what was the Greek contribution? So Greek contribution was more or less political also was there, culture was there, the Greek culture came inside, and at the same time, but it was only for a very brief time, what Alexander came inside, and with Alexander we have another empire in the rising. So empire in the rising, that is Maurian Empire. So Maurian Empire, a bit of polity side as well as cultural side also, culture and architecture we take, because when you look out for Chandragupta Maurya is consolidation. When we go for Bindusara is more or less of consolidation. Bindusara, one famous question which repeated for many exams was, he had foreign relations very good. We are talking about what time? We are talking about somewhere like 326 BC, 320 to 300 BC or 367 BC, Bindusara's time. Chandragupta and Bindusara. They, had good international relation. So for a country like Syria, kingdom like Syria, he sent a request. So the request was, please send some goods. For example, figs. Figs means attipada, anjir. Then again, he asked, could you please send some scholars? Could you send some sweet wine? So they asked in exams, which king requested which king? So like Bindusara requested Antiochus the first. What all they requested? So figs, sweet wine, and figs, sweet wine, and scholars. So what was denied? So figs and sweet wine was sent. Scholars was denied. Why scholars was denied? One question itself, they framed it in different format. Why was scholars denied? So they will give options. So one of the important reasons for the scholars to be denied was that scholars, you are asking a gift. Imagine I give you a human being as a gift. If I give you a human being as a gift, you can do whatever you want with that human being. So that human being is basically becoming a slave. The human being is basically becoming a slave. So there, what I want you to understand is the concept of slavery was not followed by the Persians. So they said, we don't follow the concept of slavery. So please excuse us from providing scholars as a gift, but we shall send rest of the things. Wine and figs was sent. That way also we can say, though they don't want intellectuals to spread, because if I get this, if you, for example, Uday, you are sending me a scholar. You are sending me a scholar. What will I do? I'll try to extract all the information out of him, no? So maybe he will give you about information about you also. You don't want that. So maybe the king Antiochus the first did not want that. So that way also we can say. Definitely that way also we can say that. Then, so move on from Bindusara, then coming into Ashoka. Ashoka again is very important for his architecture. What is architecture? His pillars, his stone architectures. Stone architecture or the pillar architecture, that is there. So, and whether it is minor or major, that is there. These are the most important things that is going to be asked from Mauryans. Okay, after Mauryans, now Maurian Empire consolidated almost all of India. We both, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, we celebrated one thing. When BJP is victorious all across India, BJP cannot have a root in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So we all said that we trolled a lot. We brought a lot of memes also saying that South will remain always an independent kingdom and all. Whatever. We have made fun in a lot of it. But okay, this is not a new phenomenon. See, Mauryans, when Mauryans also ruled, understand, when you see the Mauryan map, what we understand is Kerala and Tamil Nadu was called as Vanavasi Meghala. Vanavasi Meghala it was called. So we were basically tribals. So there comes another question, like, one question has been asked. Southern extent of Maurian Empire was still where? Ideology can matter, but it seems different. But let's not go into that. Let's stick to subject. Then we'll have to go very deep into politics. So maybe we'll discuss that privately, not on the public forum. I don't want that. So anyway, so what I'm trying to tell is, another question that was very important during that time was like, what was the extent of the Mauryan Empire? The extent of the Mauryan Empire was Mysore. So Mysore, beyond the Mysore, it was called as Vanavasi Meghala. So Vanavasi, who are the tribals here? It was Malayalis and Tamils are the tribals during the Mauryan times. And so the tribals have to be attracted, right? So when the tribals have to be attracted, what should we do? We should put across a lot of pillars. I mean, like these Vanavasis also, tribals also will come to trade. That is it. So they will bring that luxurious goods from forest. Forest goods will be there. So they are bringing and they are giving it to the urban people, I mean city people. So there is a confluence of both tribals and the urban people. So Mysore region, we find lot of pillars, minor pillars. So when we go into the in-depth class, I'll show you the map and all. Many pillars will be found in the Mysore region. So that was the border of Ashoka or Mauryan Empire. So once the Mauryan Empire is done, after Ashoka, immediately Mauryan Empire crumbles. Again, that is the question, mains question it is. So let's not, we can provide many facilities for them, which makes them important. See, we don't have to provide them anything. That is a very common mistaken identity. Tribals are individual. They are very much independent on their own. They don't want us. They don't want us at all. Tribals are very independent on their own. They have the forest. They are happy there. They are happy there. Now, you see, for South, Kerala and Tamil Nadu comes like this. Now, if you go to another side, northeastern side, Arunachal, Manipur, Nagaland, these kind of areas also was under the control of Mauryans. Mostly, half of, not the eastern Arunachal region, western Arunachal, central Arunachal region, Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, that area, Bangladesh, up to Bangladesh and all, we find in maps. That was also part of Maurian Empire. So there also we find lot of architecture, pillar architecture. So that tribals from there, that side also comes and links with. So they learn from the pillars, the ideals of the Maurian Empire, so that they also can get influenced. This is what one identity that comes by. Tribals are very independent. They don't want us. They don't want us at all. They can live independently in their own sectors. So this is what the condition. Now another main question comes by. What is the reason that Ashoka, after Ashoka, Mauryan Empire crumbled? Ashoka made a concept like Ashoka brought ahimsa. Ashoka, of course, won't tribals be educated? Don't look at our movies and think about tribals. Movies show tribals as completely ignorant, undesirables. They will be wearing, our 80s movies and all, very much tribals will be shown in very stereotyped understanding. So let's not think about tribals like that. Tribals are also educated. See, at least there will be one or two people who knows the language of the others. That's what we call diplomats, ambassadors. Tribals also have a kingly structure. So king is there. Won't there be diplomats for the king? Let it be urban, a city, great empire, or let it be a tribal also. Let it be a tribal also. They will have a structure. A social structure is always there where humans are there. That we must understand. So humans means what? We communicate. Even if we don't know how to talk, we can show expression. Expressions can be at least shown, isn't it? So Afghanistan also. Then again, what I'm coming to say is why Ashoka's empire, Mauryan Empire crumbled after Ashoka. Again, a mains question it was. Well, let's not go into mains, but I'm just telling and going. That Ashoka brought in the concept of ahimsa. Because Ashoka chose Buddhism, most of you will be knowing. Science and body language, exactly. So, when coming back to Ashoka, ahimsa is a problem. See, you can be non-violent. You can be non-violent, but your enemy can be violent. When your enemy is violent, your non-violence is no use. So what happened to India was, Ashoka brought in the idea of ahimsa in India. Outside India was violent. So when ahimsa inside India, what happened? See, a soldier should have practice. A soldier should need practice. Without the practice, soldier is inequipped. So when this ahimsa was there inside India, they are going to fight whom? The himsa-vadis from outside. Violent people from outside and the non-violent people from inside India. Who will win? Definitely we know that the violent people only are going to win because they have experience of killing and all. This led to the downfall of Mauryans within 50 years of Ashoka's death. 50 years of Ashoka's death, Mauryans completely crumbled. Then, after the Mauryans, we kind of say a time which we call as Post-Maurian era. So, Mauryans fall somewhere in 187 BC. 187 BC that comes by. So from 187 BC to almost 150 AD, the next 200 years, what we understand is foreigners are coming because Indians cannot stand together. See, we take example from this historical concept. Why India should stand together, India should not separate. Why the concept of Union of India? All this we learn in politics. So why we learn this is the integrity of India. We stay together, then only the power of India can be. The once we divide, India can be decimated by foreign powers. So now what has happened? Alexander came first from outside. Which part of India they are coming? They are coming from the northwestern side. Northwestern side means Afghanistan, Pakistan. They are coming from that region. They are coming from that region. Afghanistan, Pakistan, or some places like that. Northwestern part. So India has to stand together. The moment India doesn't stand together, foreign invasion takes place. So this has, whenever we have forgotten this history, this has kept on repeating. Now, I keep on saying to my students, the only reason history subject is taken for the exam, UPSC exam, is to understand this one thing. Tomorrow you are going to become the officers, official class. So when you go to become the official class, especially when you are a UPSC aspirant, you will not be posted in Tamil Nadu or Assam or Maharashtra or where your native places. You will be posted somewhere else. So when you're posted somewhere else, you should also feel for those people. Maybe you are in Tamil Nadu, you will be posted tomorrow in Rajasthan. You cannot separate yourself. You have to feel for those Rajasthani. Next 35, 40 years of your life is there. Your children will be growing in Rajasthan maybe. Or maybe you will be posted in Nagaland. You have to work for Nagaland, Naga people. So you cannot see a difference there. You have to see it as India. So the national integration, first effectiveness comes from the official class. From you only this brings, okay, other forms are there, but officers move important work of the nation. There should be national integration in that. That is what the ideology was. Yes, our country, the concept of our country. So, the moment regionalization comes, country has more chances of splitting. Now, let's not go in. So, the next 200 years, because India did not stand together, what is coming in? Foreign invasion. So, who are all the foreign invaders? South India goes into one rule. South India goes into one rule. This rule is famously called as Shatavahanas. Shatavahanas we also call as Andhradipati, Andhraga, Andhrajadi, Andhrabhritya, like that we can say. But generally we call them Shatavahanas. Shatavahanas ruled entire South India. So South India was stable. When North India goes into chaos, South India becomes very stable. This we will see in medieval India also. Okay, when sultans become very chaotic, South India will be very stable. North of South India will be under Maurian Empire. South of South India will be under Vijayanagara Empire. Shatavahanas ruled from somewhere like 235 BC to 235 BC to 225 AD. Very impressive timeline. 450 years almost. 450 years almost Shatavahanas will rule. So that is a very good, very impressive timeline, because Shatavahanas culture or cultural contributions can even be seen today in South India. Shatavahanas cultural contribution can even be seen today in South India. For one of the best example of Shatavahana was education. South Indian states are much more educated than many of the North Indian states. South Indian states and Shatavahana rulers were very much welfare attitude. South Indian states are the most welfare based than the North Indian states, because there are two types of states when we say. In administration, when we say, there are two types of states. One is a welfare state, one is a police state. South Indian states, the 5 South Indian states are more or less welfare states. So if you consider Kerala is the most welfare state, it's not a police state. Comparing to other 5 South Indian states, if you consider in South India, Kerala is the most welfare state. But compared to India, all the South Indian states are welfare. Comparing to that, for example, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, or northeastern states. Northeastern states, for example, like Manipur, when we take, say, Nagaland, or when we say Rajasthan, these are all more police states rather than welfare. So when you need welfare means more education should be there. More education comes, more welfare comes. Okay. No. Okay, there also we can say military state, we don't say, we say that police state only. But police state means there is more aggressive form of authority being expressed. That doesn't mean that you have to go to that extent of military coup. Don't worry about that. Police state is more or less an expression of the aggressive form of authority being shown. That's all we can, in a simple form. What you said is also right. What you said is also right. But an aggressive form, let it be a civilian state itself. Let it be an elected democratic state, but there is the aggressive form. That is what. Exactly. A very draconian form of democracy, if you see, that is a police state. So there we can say. The next importance that comes by is the Shatavahanas were more or less a welfare, and moreover they were matrilineal. They were matrilineal. So women were given more importance. And we look at Shatavahana emperors. For example, one example I can give, Gautami Putra Shatakarni. Gautami Putra Shatakarni. Gautami Putra. He did not take the name of his father. He took the name of his mother. So when females were given more importance, same culture we will see in Vijayanagar also. When we take Vijayanagar, women are, except for military, women are present in every forms, including wrestling, bodyguards and all. Vijayanagar is there. Same concept will be there in Shatavahanas also. Vijayanagar comes when? 1337. 1337 AD Vijayanagar is coming. Where is Shatavahanas? 235 BC. So even after that many years, 450 years of rule of Shatavahanas is impressive enough to carry into modern day. Shatavahanas culture came into medieval times. It came into modern times also. So this is the understanding for Shatavahanas. When Shatavahanas were ruling South India, North India was in chaos. There continuously invasions happened. So who all came? Just know about them. We have to know about a basic political system. One empire, we call it Kushan Empire. Kushan Empire alone has cultural aspect more. Questions can be asked from culture. Okay. So for example, the first one that came was Indo-Greeks. Indo-Greeks, or else they were called Bactrians. Bactrians. So they came, behind them, the people from outside, another group came called as Bactrians comes. After Bactrians, Jagdish, any idea? After Bactrians comes the Shakas. Shakas or Scythians. Shakas or Scythians. Then another group comes behind them, destroying the Shakas, was Parthians. Parthians come by. Then another group comes after Parthians was Kushans. So Bactrians, or else Indo-Greeks, Shakas, then Parthians, and finally Kushans. Kushans are one of the most successful outsiders who comes and settles in. They want to become Indians. So they are the most successful. Exactly, Shakas. So Akshay. So what? Kushans are one of the most successful. And when Kushans come through, NCERT textbook mentions they were very rich in their empire. So once they were very rich, what we understand is they gave gold coins. Gold coins, one of the most purest gold coins. Again, question asked. One of the most purest of gold coins that was mentioned by NCERT textbook is Kushan gold coins. Circulation wise, when you understand the gold coins, questions are there. Who had purest of gold coins in India? That was Kushans. Who circulated maximum coins in India? That was not Kushans, that was Guptas. Okay, see the difference here. Purest Kushans, maximum circulation Guptas, but they did not have that much purity. Purity means 24 carat is there, so you can reduce that with copper, 22 carats, 20, 18. This Kushans mostly were 20 carats or 18 carats. They won't ask you like that or something, but generally I'm just saying. Guptas were mostly 16 carats, 14 carats under. So circulation was more for Guptas. Purity was more for Kushans. Then after, so this period is called as, so after Mauryans, nearly 400 years, 200 BC to 200 AD. We call this time Post-Gupta period. Sorry, Post-Maurian period. Post-Maurian period. That's what called. Then 2nd century AD. So now we have reached 2nd century AD. I'm just giving an overview of ancient India. Please understand. So where all to read, where all to give more highlights. That's all. Then comes the next important that comes is for how India was, new kingdoms will rise in India. So for example, like if you understand, South India, if you take, western coast of South India was Gangas of Mysore. If you want, you can draw a map and then you can take down, that will be more easier for you. For the next 200 AD we have reached. Shatavahanas are all gone. 200 AD, 4 new dynasties will come into India. For the next 300, 400, 500 years, these people will be ruling. These people will be the rulers. So who are the rulers? One on the western coast of India was Gangas of Mysore. On the eastern coast of India, eastern coast of South India. Eastern coast of South India was Pallavas. Pallavas of Kanjipuram. In central India, we have Vakatakas. Vakataka. Vakatakas are very important for culture because Ajanta school of painting, all this Ajanta, Ellora, especially Ajanta school of painting and all starts with Vakatakas and all. And once the question was asked about a particular book that was called Dashakumara Charitam. Dashakumara Charitam. Dashakumara Charitam mentioned by a person called as Dain, D-A-I-N. So Dashakumara Charitam was written by Dain. Dashakumara Charitam mentions about many kings of Vagatakas. Likewise. So very important Vagatakas are. You must not have heard about them. Culturally, they are very important. Culturally, they are very important. Then, next importance that comes is Guptas. North India was ruled by Guptas. Guptas, when you speak, Guptas, when you speak, we know what Guptas are very good in polity. Guptas are very good in economy. Guptas are very good in culture. So all aspect we have looked to learn about Guptas. Political. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. How many differentiation, how many different aspect will you, or how many different concept will you learn for history? There are different concepts. See, I said, once you learn history, then it is over. Now what I need you to understand is, say, 6 different points. If you take myself or you take yourself, Now imagine I have to come and inquire about you. What all aspects should I inquire about you? So imagine I am getting introduced to you. What will you tell first? Your name, where do you come from, your family, your background, all these you will tell, isn't it? So first, okay, you belong to Tamil Nadu, I belong to Kerala, that is our political aspect. So first thing comes political. Then you are telling about your family, your region, your language, all that you are telling. So then the social aspect. So political, social. Then you talk about your language, okay, your heritage. So cultural, political, social, cultural. Then when we get to know each other, I will understand what is your economical background. Economical background has come. Then comes religious background, which religion you belong to. Political, social, cultural, economical, religious. In some cases, there will be military also. 6 different aspects, minimum 6 different aspects of one personality. Understanding history, there are lakhs and lakhs of personalities, but whichever personality you are learning, if you learn these 6 aspects about that personality, your homework is over. Never you will have to come back. If you take, then now comes to kings, Akbar, Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, or Skandagupta, or Ashoka. Ashoka's political understanding, Ashoka's social, Ashoka's cultural, Ashoka's economical, Ashoka's religious, Ashoka's military. Sometimes this can be combined, socio-cultural, economico-political. They can combine and come also. If you understand this pretty concepts alone, history is within your grasp. History is within your grasp. That's all. It's as simple as that. Mains, I'm saying about main studies. You study for prelims also. Prelims okay, fact it comes by. But more you study about mains, these 6 concepts you have done, 95% of the coverage has been done. I can assure you on that. I mean, those who are preparing for mains, I don't know whether you know about it or not. Maybe you might be knowing. But if you haven't, try history in this way. That will help you more. Okay. Then, so now I have come to Guptas. So Guptas again, Guptas rule up to somewhere like 540. Vagatakas almost up to 550. Gangas, what they do is they migrate. They migrate from the Mysore region. So basically modern day state of Karnataka. So they migrate from the Mysore region. They go into North Karnataka region. Badami. Badami is also called as Vatapi. Now we have this old classical music, Vatapi Ganapati. Vatapi Ganapati, that song and all is there, classical music. So they go to Badami, and from there they migrate to Andhra, Srikakulam region, and then they go and settle in Odisha. So once they start migrating, they are no more western Gangas. They go from Karnataka, they go to Andhra, and they go into Odisha. The western Gangas go on to become eastern Gangas. Western Ganga go on to become eastern Gangas. This is what happens. Then Pallavas. Pallavas of Kanchipuram, we very well know that Pallavas of Kanchipuram ruled from 200 to almost 800. Who will be defeated by Cholas? Aparajita Pallava will be defeated by Aditya Chola. So Aditya Cholan will become one of the first prominent Cholan rulers, even though Vijayalaya is there. So Tamil history, you must be knowing a little bit more. So Vijayalaya comes for the first one. Then after him, Aditya Cholan. Aditya Cholan is considered to be the real founder. So then again till somewhere like 1200s, the Cholas continue. Okay. At the same time, now Gangas are gone. So who has come up in the place in Karnataka? Another group has come up who are called as Chalukyas. Chalukyas. Chalukyas again, very important for culture, art, architecture. Culture, art, architecture. When we talk about Chalukyas, 3 different Chalukyas are there. Actually 4 are there, but 3 is important. South Indians are 3. South Indians are 3. Who all? Chalukyas of Badami. Chalukyas of Vengi. Chalukyas of Badami comes in Karnataka. Just understand with modern concept. I am not going to dig deep. So for a better understanding, Chalukyas of Badami is in modern day Karnataka region. Then on the Andhra side comes, Andhra Telangana region comes Chalukyas of Vengi. All are same family only. Maharashtra side comes Chalukyas of Kalyani. These are important South Indian groups. One more Chalukya is here, the Chalukyas of Anilvara. That is more in Gujarat region. They are not considered, their lineage is the same, family is the same, but they are more Rajputs, Rajaputra. So they are more Rajputs than anything with South India. So we don't learn much about those people. When we learn Chalukyas, exclusively we learn Badami Chalukyans, Vengi Chalukyans, Kalyani Chalukyans. Now, when we understand about Chalukyans, most important thing is when we what types are you asking? Chalukyans. 3 types of Chalukyans we mentioned. One is Badami Chalukyans. Badami Chalukyans, modern day Karnataka region. Vengi Chalukyans. Vengi Chalukyans, modern day Andhra, Telangana region. Kalyani Chalukyans, modern day Maharashtra region. Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh region, Kalyani Chalukyans. It doesn't mean that they are exclusively in modern day states or something. They are at war with each other. So they will be conquering each other's territories also. Extreme south we have Pallavas, then later on comes Cholas. This is what the arrangement of the south is, 6th century and all. At the same time, when Badami Chalukyans were there, Badami Chalukyans' greatest ruler was Puligeshi. In Tamil Nadu, you mocked that great king and made a movie also, Irvathimunam Puligeshi. So Karnataka government, was not very happy with, making a comedy movie, keeping one of their greatest rulers' name. So Puligeshi was considered to be the greatest ruler among Badami Chalukyans. So when Puligeshi was ruling, at the same time there was a Pallavan ruler. One Pallavan ruler was there. He was called as Narasimhavarman. Narasimhavarman was considered as the lion of the south. So understand, in India, 3 great kings are ruling at the same time. Narasimhavarman in the extreme south, Pallava. Puligeshi in central India. And North India was the Vardhanas. Vardhana, the greatest Vardhana was Harshavardhana. Not Mahendravarman, Narasimhavarman. After Mahendravarman comes Narasimhavarman. 600, 630, something like that. Narasimhavarman comes. So Narasimhavarman was considered the lion of the south or the lord of the south. So, see why it's easy to remember. It's easy to remember. Extreme south la vandittu Simha. Extreme south is lion. Central India is Puli. Narasimham. Adile Simha irukku. So that is why I am very clear about it. So Narasimham is lion of the south or the lord of the south. In the central India there was Puli, tiger. North India there was horse, Harshavardhana, because Harshavardhana had a great cavalry. So one horse in North India, one Puli in central India, one Simham in South India, and one Chinese is coming at the same time. Which Chinese? Who is the Chinese coming? Anybody? Exactly, Huangshan. I can assure you, you will never forget this. I can assure you, you will never forget this. One horse in North India, Harshavardhana, Puligeshi in Central India, Narasimhavarman in South India, and Huangshan visits all three. The Chinese traveler Huangshan visits all three. Simple fact. That is what I am saying. History can be made very simple. History can be made very simple. Don't worry at all. Then, now, after the fall of Chalukyas, Vardhanas will be, after the defeat, after the death of Harshavardhana, Vardhanas are gone. North India will become into splinters. I mean, small groups. So what we have to understand is, then, now coming into South India, Vardhanas are gone. Then comes South India. Badami Chalukyans will be defeated. Badami Chalukyans will be defeated by another great South Indian kingdom, one of the greatest South Indian kingdom. We call them Rashtrakutas. Rashtrakutas and Chalukyas. It's a headache actually. I am a history lecturer, but I will say it is very stressful for me, or it's a tough area. When I go to teach in Bangalore, I joke in the class. I mean, like, don't blame me, because lot of temples are there. Lots and lots of temples are there. We have to study about these temple architecture. So, for example, North India, Nagara, South India, Dravida, and in between this mix of Nagara and Dravida comes Vesara. So, Nagara, Dravida, Vesara. These are generally three ideas that we have for temple construction. Now, when you come to Chalukyan understanding, Chalukyans have a specialized art. This specialized art of temple construction is called as Gadag style. Gadag is a district in Karnataka. So Gadag style architecture comes by. N number of temples, beautiful temples. Beautiful temples are constructed during that time. Chalukyans and Rashtrakutas, Cholans and Pallavans. Extremely beautiful temples. So we have to learn about it. That's another thing. The students have a tough time. So I say, no, don't blame me for this, blame your forefathers. Because they were the ones who constructed all these things. Now you have to learn. Just joking. So, monolithics. For example, Hoysala temples are there. Channakeshwara temple. Hoysaleshwara temple. Vada Malleshwara temple. Then Gudimallam temple. That is all Pallavan styles that comes by. Of course, we have to cherish that. I'm not saying that. But for exam, those people who are not interested in history has a tough time by studying temples. And so, now what I say is, beautiful temples are there. So, Nagara in North India, Dravida in South India, mixing of this is Vesara. Inside Vesara, when we talk about Chalukyans, we have Gadag style. Gadag architecture, Gadag, Gadag architecture. And then when we go to the eastern side, I told you about Gangas, eastern Gangas, Mysore. From Mysore they went and stayed in Odisha. The eastern Gangas come by. There they have another temple style. Another temple style comes there. So this regional styles of temples also comes by exclusivity. Okay. The Odisha region, when we find a temple, see, for example, Jagannath temple and all is a very prime example for that. We call it Kalinga style. The Kalinga style, also it can be said. So, Nagara, North India, Dravida, mixing is Vesara. Inside that we have Gadag, Kalinga. Likewise, many different styles come by. So, just generalizing I'm saying. Only when it came to Gadag style is also Vesara style, Kalinga style is also Vesara style. But they stand apart. When I come into details, I'll tell you what are the detailed effect of these things. So please understand. Yeah, thank you. I forgot to drink water. Thanks. Now, so that comes by. So here, even though we see more of political understanding, see now why we should understand the political understanding, I'll tell you. Recently, like history repeating itself, what we have seen is, see, when I used to study, when I prepared during 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, those times. So when I prepared for UPSC, we used to take old question papers, 10 years, 15 years old question papers used to take. 2010, if I am preparing, means 10 years old is 2000 question paper. So we used to see match the following: chronology, reverse chronology, all that we see. Now what has happened is, past 2-3 years, history questions. This reverse chronology, match the following, chronological approach, that is all coming in. They are asking, arrange the kings in chronological order according to timeline. Many questions, what we saw 20 years before, are repeating. Very important, this is, watch out. Last 2 years or so, this has been repeating. So until now, faculties used to say, don't worry about kings and queens, don't worry about years. Now they are going back to the very old trend, what I am seeing for the past 2 years. You can check. If you don't believe me, you yourself can check the question paper. They are going into chronological understanding. They are going into more year-based understanding. They are asking questions like that. So now don't stick with culture part alone. Read a bit about kings and queens also, and understand about their years. Okay. Very important this is. So now after Rashtrakutas were also destroyed by Chalukyas of Kalyani. Rashtrakuta, one important factor is Rashtrakuta controlled both South India and North India. Rashtrakutas controlled both South India and North India. They were people from South India and they controlled both South India and North India. After Rashtrakutas getting destroyed, then 3 main kingdoms are there in South India. For example, Kalyani Chalukyas are there, Venki Chalukyas in the middle, Cholas in the south. Cholas and Kalyani Chalukyas will fight for Venki Chalukya region, because Andhra region is very fertile. So we can just modern day, if you look, Tamil Nadu, consider Cholas as Tamil Nadu. Cholas of Tanjavur. Cholas of Tanjavur, that we say. So consider Tamils as Cholas. Kalyan is where? Maharashtra. Bombay, Kalyan. That is there. So understand, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu quarreled for Andhra. Just remember like that. It's easy for you to remember. I'm just giving a shortcut. Okay. Even though same family, Chalukyas of Kalyani, Chalukyas of Vengi, both are same family. But what happened? They are bitter rivals. They did not like each other. Chalukyas of Kalyani preferred to be friend with Cholas. Chola men married more of Chalukyan women. Exchange of marriages were there, but if you look like mostly Chola, so Tamil Nadu, men from Tamil Nadu married more Teluguite women, that we can say. In a general, for making it easier for you, those who are listening, that is what the concept I am saying. So, this is what the understanding that we have. Now, so when we talk about this particularity, is that this is South India. Now, at the same time, most of these empires are South Indian. At the same time, there are two prominent North Indian empires. That is from Gujarat, the Gujarat Rajasthan, we have Gurjara Pratiharas. Gurjara Pratiharas from the Gujarat Rajasthan region. And from the Bengal region, Bengal Assam region, we have Palas, the Palas of Bengal. I think 2019, there was a question on Palas. Shashanka of Pala and all, very important question came by. So that keep in mind. Okay. So that was North India. And it is at this point of time where we see the attack of Arabs. The Arabs come into India around from 711. 711 onwards, Arabs are penetrating into India. Arabs penetrate into India. One of the first Arabs that penetrate into India is under Muhammad bin Qasim. Muhammad bin Qasim, almost Afghanistan, modern day parts of Pakistan were all occupied. That time there was no Afghanistan or Pakistan, that was all India only. So most of the dynasties of that region, for example, the Hindu Shahis and many Rajput kingdoms will be defeated and they will penetrate deep inside. See, before Islam penetrating in North India, Islam has already come into South India. Islam has already come into South India. While Prophet Muhammad was alive itself, Islam has come into South India. Islam has come into South India means the first mosque of South India is there in Kerala itself. In the Thrissur district of Kerala, we have a mosque which we call as Cheraman Perumal Mosque. Cheraman Perumal Mosque was built in the year 629 AD. 629 AD, Cheraman Perumal Mosque is built. So, Prophet dies in 632 only. So, while Prophet was alive itself, a mosque is coming in India. If you look at a church also, first church of India is mostly in South India. That Saint Thomas is said to have come in 52 AD. 52 AD. So almost 2000 years of Christian existence is there in India. And nearly around 1400 of Islamic existence is there in India. But when it comes to South India, Islam came with peace. That is why even if you look today, South India is more peaceful between Muslims and Hindus. When we compare that with North India, we are more peaceful. When it comes to North India, why the division we see is because North India, Islam entered with war. And most of the Hindus were killed in that concept. So still modern day, even till this very moment I am speaking, there is a uneasiness that we can see mostly in North India. That is because with the war they came. South India, it was peaceful. Coexistence was peaceful. So more of Islamic understanding, medieval understanding, an overview, I shall give you tomorrow. Okay. So ancient India, this is more or less what you need to concentrate. These are the areas that you need to concentrate. I have told you clearly which one to concentrate on. Culture part, where to concentrate on architecture part, where to concentrate on political side. And one more thing, let me tell you. If you look at the current trend of the exam that is going, past 3-4 years, preliminary exam, I'm again saying preliminary exam. More questions are being asked from ancient India. Last preliminary exam, almost 20 questions were there, 21 questions were there from history, or which has the touch of history. Out of that, 18-19 questions were ancient India. So give little importance for ancient India. Okay, please understand that. Mains, when I saw, there is equal distribution, modern, medieval and ancient, that is equal distribution. Preliminary exam, more importance has been given for ancient India, and that too culture part. Culture, art and architecture is given more importance. Please don't see, like I always say, you can check for yourself. I am not denying the fact, whatever I am telling, you can also check. So that you will believe for yourself. You don't have to trust me, but you can believe for yourself. But do follow it. Do give importance to ancient India during preliminary exam time. Okay. So we shall wind up for the end of the class for today. And any questions as such? Kipa, the books you are asking is first you read NCERT. First you read NCERT, and more if you want to read, I would recommend R.S. Sharma, Ancient India. R.S. Sharma's Ancient India is there. See, more or less that is enough. You don't want much of a books that is there. R.S. Sharma book and NCERT books, plus your academy class notes if it is available, more than enough. Okay, then it's not about reading the books that is important. How many question papers you attend? Attend the maximum test series. You don't have to join anything. I'm not saying that you should join everywhere a test series. Wait for 1 or 2 days. Some of your friends might be having the question paper. Collect that question paper from them. Answer. Question paper answering is very important than sitting and learning. Because you will know how to tackle the question. That is very important. Upinder Singh is good. Upinder Singh is actually the daughter of Manmohan Singh. Upinder Singh is the daughter of Manmohan Singh, our ex-prime minister. So she has done a wonderful job. A very good book it is. So you can read that also, no issues. Okay. So any other doubts? Otherwise, we shall wind the session for today. Tomorrow we will discuss an overview on medieval India. I'll give you an overview on medieval India. Today I took some time because I needed to explain about history also. Because without explanation of history, I cannot definitely go into any of these things. Then it will be useless. Direct topic, if I hit the topic directly, many freshers are there, they will have a lot of problems. So that's why I just explained about history a little, then went into the topics. Yeah, that's what I said, medieval India mostly. I'll give you an overview on medieval India and what and where to look into. When it is necessary, I will definitely extend the session. Don't worry. When it is necessary, because it's almost like 1 hour 45 minutes or something like that, or more than 1 hour 45 minutes. So I'll sorry, 2 hours, no, 10:30, so 12:30 around, yeah, 12 hour 20 minutes or something. So we'll definitely do. Like if you want, see, Like I said, I need a more participatory class. When you ask questions, I can reply to that. Me just thinking and telling doesn't work. So I need to be creative. Like I always say in my class, I hate zombies in my class. Zombies will be like, just staring at you. I don't want that. You also think, we'll think together. That will be more productive. NCERT textbooks. When you talk about NCERT textbooks, I would say 6th standard to 12th standard. See, geography, polity, economy, those faculties will tell you what is the important textbooks for them. Ask me, I will tell history 6th to 12th, 6th standard to 12th. 6th standard text, 6th, 7th, 8th and all, they are children's books. How long will it take you to read? So please don't find it a trouble for reading those books. I would always ask you to read 6th standard to 12th. Like I said, homework if once done, then you can let it be. And as asked, see the quality crux of the concept and all. Maybe I get to know that Uday Kumar, you are already studied. You have already studied, and you're not a fresher. Of course, I can help you in that. But there are lots of freshers who are sitting. If I go into that depth, they are going to have utter confusion. So if any question you have, you ask, I'll explain it individually. You put it in open forum, I'll definitely explain. But every concept, if I go deep, freshers will get confused. They'll get scared also. History is, first of all, a scary subject. That's why I'm just sticking to that very peripheral level. Okay. Krishna, Gopala means the first ruler was Gopala. So the name Pala dynasty comes. See, Bengal was not having a ruler. So what they did was, I'll come to modern India. Don't worry. I'll come to modern India. Wait, 1 second, Raghuram. 1 second. So Gopala. So what in Bengal they did was, there was no ruler. So what they said, it was a democratic way of choosing a ruler. Democratic way of choosing a ruler. Understand? So the priest in the major temple said, if anybody who wants to become the ruler, come to the temple. So what happened? They gave a garland in the hands of an elephant. This elephant took the garland, walked around everywhere, went and put a garland on the neck of a person. So it was accepted that whoever the elephant garlands will become our ruler. So this elephant will garland a person somewhere standing in the corner of a road. That person's name was Gopala. Since his name was Gopala, the dynasty also went on to become Pala. Then all the other rulers took that title also. Mahipala, Dharmapala, Gopala, so Raghupala. Likewise, it went on like that. Everybody went on to take the title Pala itself. This is how the Pala dynasty begins. A very democratic way of electing a monarch. We don't see a democracy in monarchy, but in India, we did that also. Thank you. And one thing, you have asked about modern India. Modern India, spectrum. Understand, don't mistake me, don't mistake me, don't mistake me. Spectrum guide. Once you study completely, then only guide is used. Don't buy the guide immediately. This is a very good book. This is a very good book, Modern India. Spectrum. You can read Spectrum here. Spectrum only. But it's a very, see, look at the size. Look at the size difference. Don't fall for it. Buy this one. Buy this one. Okay. Very good book for, and more than Bipin Chandra, if you ask me, I will tell you this book. Plasi to Partition, Shekhar Bandyopadhyaya. Bipin Chandra is also good. I am not denying Bipin Chandra. But this is also a good book. Okay. So please understand. Spectrum, the bigger one, not the guide. Spectrum, the bigger one. And these two. These are the books which I would suggest. Bipin Chandra is also good, but I would recommend Plassey to Partition. Okay. I guess if there is no more, we shall wind the session. Sure. Take care.